Captain Insano is back, and people are losing their shit about this. Now, I don't normally make a habit of talking about stuff that happens inside the ring on this show. This show is strictly for podcasts, shoot interviews, that kind of stuff. But this one, I just wanted to jump in and give my 2 cents on, because I see people on the internet and it just makes me shake my head and I don't understand. There's, Captain Insano made his debut as part of a music video with the Acclaimed on AEW. And all of a sudden, like, everybody's just like, oh my God, this is the beginning of the end. Was Vince McMahon booking this shit? Oh, Big Show is such a joke now, laughable. Oh, everybody was so mad he was buried in WWE, and now look at him. Ha ha ha, what a joke. What the fuck, man? Are you guys not capable of having a good time? Are these the people that like their chicken with no flavor? Like, you just fucking just dry, just no sauce, no seasoning, no nothing, because you just got to get the protein in. These are serious motherfuckers, right? Have a laugh. This wasn't a match. This wasn't an angle. This isn't like he's not going for the world title. And it's not anything that they're pushing on him. This is something that he wanted to do for nostalgia's sake. Him and Tony Khan talked about it and wanted to bring this character back. He was excited about it. I did a fucking segment on it like half a year ago, or whenever that was announced that they got the trademark for Captain Insano. Why is everybody so upset about this? Like, honestly, like, go watch fucking 1980s NWA, or fucking Jim Cornette's Smoky Mountain Wrestling, or better yet, go watch the UFC. It's completely believable, realistic, right? No funny business, no jokes, no skits, and completely sports like. It's completely up your alley. You'll love it, right? Watch the UFC. Fuck off, man. Like, have a laugh. Wrestling is, believe it or not, wrestling needs to be a variety show. It's a 2-hour show with millions of people watching. Okay, a million or less for AEW, but millions for WWE, right? You need to appeal to everybody watching. All right. There's clearly not more than 1 million diehard I like wrestling fans. Otherwise, Ring of Honor would have been bigger than it was, right? Because that was pretty pure wrestling. They even have a title called the Pure Wrestling Championship. Sports like product, right? NWA, go watch the NWA, right? That's Billy Corgan's big thing now is, I want big, burly, believable guys. Like when I was a kid, all the big guys could beat up the little guys, and that's what I want. So in a nutshell, that's what he said. Go watch that then. Clearly you don't like entertainment. You want to watch UFC, but fake UFC, right? You don't want to watch UFC. You want to watch pretend UFC, but you want it to be as UFC-ish as possible, right? As sports-based, as realistic. That's just not what wrestling is anymore. Okay. If you're an older fan who grew up in the 70s and 80s, I respect early 80s, before Hulkamania and stuff. I respect where you're coming from, but wrestling has changed. Since the UFC came around, wrestling is more entertainment than it is sport. It's just a fact. UFC has shown what real wrestling, that's pro wrestling. If pro wrestling was a real thing, it would be UFC, right? Guys from different backgrounds, different skill sets, different sizes, shapes, countries. Some people have characters and stuff. Some people with the big furry fucking head. You got your Conor McGregor walking like McMahon. Like, we have characters. It's UFC. Go watch that. Okay. They do angles and stuff. But otherwise, wrestling is going to have entertainment. It's going to have goofy spots from time to time, and it's going to use weapons because they're allowed to, and they're going to have fun characters. And this was not even in a match. Okay. I can understand if you're like, oh, Captain Insano is going for the AEW title. What a joke. Yeah. Absolutely. When he appears along with the Acclaimed, who are fucking clowns anyway, they're the New Age Outlaws 2.0. I don't mean clowns in a negative way. I love the Acclaimed. Everybody loves the Acclaimed, right? But there's still comedy. You know, he comes out and busts raps to make people laugh and go, oh shit. Oh, like scissor me daddy ass. Like you can't tell me that putting Captain Insano in with them is fucking bad booking. You don't have a sense of humor at this point. That's all it is. Or you have a completely delusional idea of what pro wrestling is or should be, or you're hanging on to the past and what it was. Right? This isn't the smoky filled fucking sportatorium anymore with grandmas coming over the railing trying to fucking stab people because god damn it. You know what I mean? Like, it's entertainment. It's a show. You are watching a show. And WWE does far more silly shit. And honestly, if somebody over there would have thought of the idea to bring Captain Insano back, they would have did it, and you guys probably would have not been so hard on it because you love to hate AEW on top of everything else. This was something Big Show wanted to do. This wasn't something that Tony Khan forced on him. It might have been Tony's idea, but Big Show was excited about this. And it's fun to have. I said when I did when that trademark was announced and I talked about it, about a half a year ago or so, I mentioned that a good idea, a good use for this character is video games and merchandising and, Captain Insano t-shirts and action figures and, a unlockable character in the video game. These are smart uses for a Insano. I almost said Captain America. America's ass. That's a great use for Captain Insano, but you know what else is a great use for Captain Insano, which will help sell those t-shirts and action figures and stuff because he's on TV again, is putting him in a fucking skit with the Acclaimed. All right. He's not chasing the title. He's not beating anybody important. It's a silly fucking comedy sketch in between matches. And look, Bruce Pritchard always talks about the let me up moments, right? The fucking, you can't have serious match after serious match after you got to let the audience breathe a little. Let them have a little bit of a laugh before you get into something serious again. Like, the idea that this is stupid or this is the end of AEW or this is the end of Big Show or what a joke. Like, I don't know what you guys want from your wrestling, but you're hate watching at this point because you're not getting it from WWE and you're not getting it from AEW because both of them do silly clown shit. Danhausen, Orange Cassidy, fucking all the silly shit Seth Rollins was doing, or the Bro, all his goofy skits backstage, and just Nikki ASH, even though they changed that now. But you could go on and on and on and on about the clown show, goofy, silly comedy the comedy sketches and segments in between matches. And in a 2-hour wrestling show on national television with 1 million plus viewers, or right around 1 million, for AEW, you have to appeal to a wider audience. You cannot appeal to the niche fucking 1970s NWA wrestling fans that want to believe, damn it, I want to believe it's real. Jim Cornette always said it was phony, fake bullshit. Who are you trying to fool in 2022? Who are you trying to pull the wool over anybody's eyes for? And look, everybody knows wrestling's a work, right? As long as you don't do it in the main event, as long as MJF and John Moxley aren't doing silly clown shoe shit where it's fake, phony nonsense, I get where you're coming from there. But if you want to add a comedy segment in between a match with fucking Captain Insano, which is a huge nostalgia it's nostalgia. People loved that movie, and people still to this day, there's memes about Captain Insano. He's remembered. It's a memorable character. 20 years later? People remember that shit. Why not make money off of it? You guys are insane. I don't know what you want in wrestling. I suggest you go to the WWE Network. You pull up the old fucking NWA stuff, the old Smoky Mountain stuff, fucking, Texas fucking wrestling shit, and just watch some of that stuff or go be a UFC fan. It's very realistic. You'll love it. They don't do anything silly or goofy or phony. It's believable. I don't know what else to tell you. You're hate watching at this point. Get a life.
Let me tell you something, brother. You can check out full episodes each and every Sunday right here on this channel, dude. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to take your vitamins and say your prayers, brother.